Last week, I posted a reel showing a mistake that I made in a project, and I asked you whether you would frog it or whether you would just kind of fudge it and let it go. And y'all had some opinions, and I want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nicole, a crochet pattern designer of 5 years. And as a pattern designer, I am no stranger to frogging. It's all part of the design process. But in the case of the project that I showed you last week, it was a small mistake. If I didn't point it out to you, you probably wouldn't even notice it. I mean, can you even see the mistake? Because it is in frame. Stay to the end of the reel and I'll show you where the mistake is. And so most of you agreed with me that if it wasn't a mistake that was very visible, if it wasn't something that changed the form or the function of the final product, you weren't going back and changing. But then there's this comment. Basically, this person said that if you don't go back and fix it, you're a mediocre crocheter. And honestly, I disagree with that. And here's why. So to me, the difference between somebody who is mediocre and an expert in their field or in their craft is skill level. And skill is more than just creating a good finished product. Skill is also involved in things like understanding why you're doing what you're doing, understanding the background of the pattern, how pieces get put together, understanding where you can modify things if you want to modify them. I don't see patterns as the end all be all, the thing that you have to follow 100%. I see patterns as a springboard, a place for you to follow the pattern exactly if that's what you want, but also a place where you can modify things as you see fit to get what you want in a finished product. But in order to do that, you have to understand what you're changing and why you want to change it in order to get it to do what you want it to do. And that takes skill. That's something that's learned over time. And so to me, somebody who can look at a mistake and go, this needs to be changed versus this is something that nobody's going to notice. And it also depends. Are you selling the product? Is it just for you? Is it a gift? That may change your opinion on whether or not it needs to be fixed. But to me, somebody who can look at that and make that decision about whether or not it needs to be changed and whether or not it's going to change something about the outcome has more skill than somebody who needs to rigidly follow the pattern 100%. And truth be told, if somebody doesn't understand why they're doing what they're doing in the pattern, I wouldn't call them mediocre. I would just say they're a beginner or intermediate. They're still learning skills, and therefore they just don't have those skills yet, but they're things that they can learn if they so wish. And if not, they want to follow patterns and they don't care about learning the background behind it. Guess what? That's why we crochet pattern designers exist, so that we have patterns that you can follow. So I'd like to know, what do you consider a mediocre crocheter? Let me know in the comments. And so for those of you who are wondering where the mistake was made, it's this stitch right here. You can tell that there's only one stitch there. I missed a chain one. Instead of doing a half double crochet decrease over 2 stitches, I basically did a modified puff into the one. But if I don't point it out, is it even noticeable?